Thank you. Good morning. My name is Lilas Bielopotocky. I am employed by Augustana, University of Alberta in Camrose. Small campus, operational owned. Like we run our own cafeteria with Augustana. I started out at Augustana in 1988 as a chef on the floor, and then from then a position came open many years later, and I did all the purchasing and ordering and hiring and scheduling. And being a small town campus, you kind of do whatever has to be done, if it's grabbing a mop or whatever it takes to get the job done. I talk a little bit about how we started out with local food. Back in the day, I think it was 1998, Roger Epp, our dean of students at that time, came down to the cafeteria and said, Lilas, faculty are doing a theme from field to fork. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness. So he said, do you think you could take part in that? And at first I'm thinking, oh my goodness, now we've got to sell this to the staff, and we're busy enough as it is, and how can we make this work? So I said, you know what? Yeah, we can do it. So I went to the staff and shared this with them. And a lot of our staff, our farm background, cooks off the farm at that time, we're quite excited about it, but we're worried about how much work it was going to be. So on the phone, I'm from the farm as well, so I got on the phone and I'm phoning all the farmers, and the Hutterites at that time were a great help, and came down to, okay, we needed some vegetables, and another cook said, you know what, Lilas, I have a friend just a couple miles out of Camrose, they've got a field of extra beets. And I said, oh, right on. So here we go, three of us from the kitchen went out to the farm and we got beets, and then you heard there's a few potatoes that they had left over. So that's how we really started local food in 1998. And being we're a small campus, I think at that time we were feeding about 500. We could do it. Well, you know what? Our students, our staff, our faculty were absolutely amazing. We got standing ovations. They were thrilled that we could actually make this work. Sunny Boy Foods right in Camrose went down, picked up the flour, brought it back. We had a lady that's actually worked there now with me, and I've been there on my 30th year. Started making the buns from scratch with Sunny Boy flour, and they're still today called Maggie's homemade buns, homemade. So that's quite a special part of what we do. So then we continued from there, knowing, down the road, this is how many years later, probably couldn't start sending staff out to the fields and continuing with that. So I'm going to tell a little history about Augustana. Augustana is a campus of the University of Alberta. We're self-operational, starting in Camrose within College in 1910, merging with the University of Alberta in 2004. We have two full-time workers. Tracy is with me today. Get a little wave, Tracy. She's absolutely amazing. She's from the farm background as well, so she is a chef, and we work well together. We have 20 recurring staff. We work 8 months of the year with our students, and the other 4 months we do conference services, so then they're on casual for the other 4 months. I hire 50 student workers to work in our cafe, washing dishes, so it's thank goodness for students. We have about 400 customers in our cafe a day, and that too is all local food, homemade soups, dinner buns, whatever we work together on. We do almost all our event catering in-house. I hate to see somebody else come in, so we work very hard to making sure that all this meetings, special events. We had a farm food fair here 2 weeks ago and worked with international students. Tracy worked very hard to make sure as much local as possible, and it was an amazing day. Our students are absolutely thrilled. Our dining hall is all you care to eat, single entree. We offer a full cellar bar with lunch and supper, fresh vegetables daily. Our menus, obviously, I do the menu, and it's not I'm throwing always something in different. If I can find something different for local, I work constantly with GFS, Cisco, Centennial Foods, Kellahu Meats, whoever can help me out with as much local as possible. That's how we do it. And we have to keep up with the trends of the students as well. We try to, once a month for sure, we have one full local lunch. From homemade buns to whatever that day we have. We can have Irving's meat sausages from Round Hill, to local potatoes, to fresh carrots, and lots of times we do cream carrots, cream peas, and work on our special salads as well. So one full meal a month comes out of the cafeteria, and there's lots of excitement. The excitement in the lineup as the students are in line to come. We have about 300, 400 students in line. It's absolutely amazing. It's exciting. Being independent, we have the luxury of developing our own menus. We look forward to food shows, conferences, sales representatives. I work on a daily basis or weekly basis. They're there. Cisco are there twice a week, the sales associate. Centennial once a week, Kelahu meets. So I'm always picking their brain. What do you have local? And I don't quit till they give me another full list. And thanks to Jessie for working on that years ago to get that started for GFS and Cisco and all these companies to have local food, because that makes our job so much easier. We also have a lot of special diets to incorporate, just like everybody else today. This is the trend, and I don't think we're seeing anything changing soon. So at this time in a dining hall, we serve about 120 meals per day, 3 times a day, that include halal, celiac, gluten-free, lactose-free, vegetarian, vegan, paleo, low-fat, nut-free, and many other allergies. So that is a full-time job right there, trying to make sure that we're going through recipes, making sure the ingredients on packages work with our students, because they're very special. Our successes are Cisco and GFS continued, like I said before. Advancements is offering more and more foods all the time that are local. Local suppliers such as Sunny Boy Foods, Double Z Farms, Progressive Foods, which is also on the Cisco list now. We worked on that. Marvin from Progressive Foods delivered our barley for years. So we got to be very close with Marvin as well. So, and Pine Haven Meats, so it goes on and on. Holden Colony. Our challenges, of course, are just like everybody else's, are harder to find than others. Fish, we know that that's a tough one. Tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers, potatoes, and other vegetables are sometimes out of season. But again, now with GFS and Cisco, we're working better together. And our fruits, again, are a struggle. Amounts of food that we need from most small farmers, like years ago, we cleaned them out. When we'd say we need 200 pounds of carrots, well, naturally, their potato bin, their carrot bin, whatever, kind of emptied out fast. So that's where things had to change. But we talked to every farmer around to make that happen. That's about all I have to say. I'm excited. I love food. You could probably tell. Local food, yeah, farming community is my passion. My kids quite often say, I talk about local food lots, and they'll say, "Mom, is it local?" I'd like to slap them, because you know what? I think they're making fun of me, but you know what? I love it. Thank you.